What is going on, everyone? Nostalgia 925 coming at you with another episode of the well-known Digimon conversation. In this video we are going to be talking about a Digimon that was asked by many. Let me first give a shout out to those that asked for this video. Vey, Azur Mel, Anime Lover for Life, Abdullah Tour, Rick Ohm, and all of you guys. All of the names written here, a big thank you. I really appreciate your comments. There is actually one comment that I would like to read before discussing the Digimon. Steven Siegert wrote the following in the Explaining BIYOMON Armor Digivolution video. It would be good to discuss about the Digimon from the Adventure series first. That's why I want BIYOMON's line as the next one. And because I like the mythical creature Phoenix, and one mega is Phoenixmon or Huomon, who literally is one. Well, I have well received your message, my friend. I invite you all to look at the video till the end because I'm sure that it's going to be a long one. And I think I might have a few surprises which might be interesting for all of you. But first, let us see what BIYOMON is all about. I must say that I am very excited to talk about BIYOMON, for several reasons actually. I loved seeing it in Season 1, and also because of my dear Charles Darwin and his theory of evolution. The man did study about 15 different species of birds, and considering that BIYOMON is a bird, we might maybe see some of that theory Darwin was talking about. Let us first take a look at the name of the Digimon. I believe that it is mostly known as BIYOMON when I consider all the comments for this video. The truth is that the real name is high probably Piyomon instead of BIYOMON. The Piyo is the onomatopoeia for a bird's tweet. BIYOMON is in fact a Digimon belonging to the Wind Guardian family. Members of this field are generally avian or flying Digimon, or those who dwell in grassy or lofty areas. And we will have to pay attention to the environment, as it will probably play an immense role in the future Digivolution of BIYOMON, kind of like how Darwin was claiming. BIYOMON also belongs to the Nature Spirits family. Members of this field are generic animal or monster-like Digimon, or those Digimon that could dwell in desert-like areas. You see, anatomically, BIYOMON has wings that have developed to become like arms. That way, it becomes possible to operate them and use those arms/wings to grip objects. This might certainly seem interesting and useful, as you never know when it might be needed to use an object. You might need it for self-defense like an Ogremon would. Simply said, you never know. But particularly for a BIYOMON, it might actually end up being troublesome, because despite belonging to the bird species, it is not good at flying. In fact, its flying ability is on the same level as a Patamon. And don't let Patamon's appearance fool you. It is able to fly through the air with these wings, but it only goes at a speed of 1 km per hour, or 0.62 miles per hour. It is said that Patamon is definitely faster walking, so the wings it has are not as good as it may seem. And BIYOMON, being clearly a member of the bird species, sees Patamon sort of like its rival because of the fact that both are not able to use the wings that well, but still as a bird Digimon, it would only be logic to be the better one. It is assumed that the dream of a BIYOMON is to become a Birdramon, who is aerodynamically excellent at flying. It can fly freely above the sky. But at the same time, it doesn't seem that a BIYOMON really wants to become a Cockatorimon, who actually cannot fly at all. And when considering BIYOMON's rivalry with Patamon, it does make it easier to understand the little pink bird's point of view. BIYOMON has a personality brimming over with curiosity, as it loves to peck at the head portion of a Digimon called Tainmon. It is the in-training form of Palmon, an already discussed Digimon in the Explaining Digimon series. Shadow TK wrote the following in the Explaining Mekomon Digivolution line video. I have always wondered why it has a black ring on its left leg. It reminds me of pigeons. To tell you the truth, I have been looking for information concerning this dark metallic ring, and I couldn't find anything. I even analyzed the next forms, and you will see that even its next form does not wear such a ring. Some might still wear a ring, as you will see, but not this kind of ring. Now that we know that BIYOMON has at least 2 champion branches, I'd like to start discussing the next form of a BIYOMON that has wings that are less developed. I am talking about the champion form Cockatorimon, another bird Digimon. I admit that I initially thought that the name Cockatorimon was the onomatopoeia of a rooster crow in the morning. My thoughts were in fact wrong. The Cockatori in Cockatorimon is a reference to a cockatrice, which is a mythical beast, essentially a two-legged dragon or serpent-like creature with a rooster's head. And speaking of mythology, as some of you may already know, right here in the Nostalgia 925 YouTube channel, I began a separate Digimon series called Explaining Mythology. In that particular series, I discuss those mythological creatures that are in fact the true origins of certain Digimon. I will certainly discuss Cockatorymon's mythological inspiration in that separate series. Now this Digimon has two overdeveloped legs and a body that became even larger because it has continued to live underground for so long. That is why it cannot even fly through the air. It has digivolved a body that is best suited for land, which is what the BIYOMON initially would not want. The wing portions have completely degenerated. It might be a bit sad when we talk like that about its wings, but with a larger body and the tremendously developed leg strength, we could say that it does compensate for this loss. In battles, Cockatorymon usually spreads what is left of its wings along with its tail to intimidate the opponent. However, the truth is that despite the intimidation, it dislikes violent battles that would consume its energy. It much rather avoid those battles in order to preserve its large build. What you also have to know about Cockatorymon is that it completely lost the curiosity it had as a BIYOMON. In fact, its disposition is violently ferocious, which might be due to the fact that it did not digivolve into a Birdramon, along with the rivalry with Padmon that probably traumatized BIYOMON. Now, something you might not know, Cockatorymon has a variant called Akatorymon, a same Digimon belonging to the same family, but one that probably developed in different circumstances, maybe in a different ecosystem, considering that it still looks the same as a Cockatorymon, but with more fiery red colors. Just like Cockatorymon, it developed strong legs, it is unable to fly, and doesn't like violent battles, as it would consume its energy that is needed to move such a strong body. I must say that I am happy to discuss both Akatorymon and Cockatorymon, as both cannot further digivolve into an ultimate Digimon. However, both of them can DNA digivolve, or simply said, fuse into an ultimate Digimon that is in fact very interesting. The fused Digimon is called Sinduramon, an exalted beast Digimon. The Sindura in Sinduramon is a reference to Sindura, a Japanese romanization of Kinara, who is the member of the mythological 12 heavenly generals, which is definitely a mythological entity that we will discuss in the mythological conversation sub-series. Sinduramon is part of the DEVA, a group that I probably did not mention before. It is a group of 12 ultimate level holy beast Digimon that are derived from a mixture from the Buddhist myth of the 12 heavenly generals conflated with the animals of the Chinese zodiac. To be brief, as we will certainly make a specific video talking about the group and its members, you have to know that the 12 ultimate level holy beast Digimon are the followers of the Digimon Sovereigns, a group of 4 holy beast mega level Digimon. Well, they are known to be with 4 members, even if there are in fact 5 due to certain circumstances, which will be clear once we dedicate a video revolving around the Digimon Sovereigns. And the Digimon commanding Sinduramon is called BIYOMON, the Digimon Sovereign known to have the greatest power among the 4, which is maybe the reason why Sinduramon likes to quarrel and gossip above all else. It has a provocative attitude and will pick a fight with its opponent one way or another. The only problem is that when the enemy moves to attack, Sinduramon will immediately draw its head and wings within its spherical armor, made out of the hardest among all of the DEVA's equipment. The sphere is so strong that Sinduramon is absolutely protected. However, the Digimon will still need to be careful to not sustain damage, as it is occasionally possible to cut through the breach when it rolls around in that state. But you better be careful. The Digimon is not just all about talking and hiding. It has means of defending itself. It has an attack called Positron Pulse, an attack where it unleashes an intense lightning from the Bao Chu, or in other words, the treasure pestle on its back. Another name of the attack is Naraka, which is the word for the realm of hell in dharmic traditions in the language Sanskrit, a language of ancient India with a 3,500 years of history. Maybe a place I could also discuss in the mythological conversation, depending on those asking for it. Maybe a quick little extra. You see the treasure pestle on the back of Sinduramon. Well, Kimbiramon, a server of a particular Digimon Sovereign, also wears it on its back. Kimbiramon does not serve BIYOMON like Sinduramon does, but instead serves Ebonwumon, the oldest of the 4 sovereigns. We just finished discussing BIYOMON's DIGIVOLUTION branch when it is less capable of using the wings to fly. But what if it suddenly learned to use them? What if BIYOMON is finally able to fly, let us say way better than a Patamon? If so, the Digimon will digivolve into Birdramon, a giant bird Digimon belonging to the Dramon type. The Dramon Digimon species are in fact a group of Digimon possessing draconic features and traits and are all descendants of Dracomon, an ancient, pure-blooded dragon Digimon. Birdramon has an appearance shrouded in blazing flames. It is the same as the Digimon Meramon, and speaking of this Digimon, both Birdramon and Meramon are generated from the internet's defensive firewall, which prevents illegal entries from the internet. Despite Birdramon's ability to flap its gigantic wings to fly about the sky, and despite its fiery appearance, its personality is in no way combative. It mostly unleashed counterattacks against attacking enemies to a furious degree, and, on the contrary to Cockatoo, Birdramon can naturally digivolve into the ultimate Digimon called Garudamon. A very, very interesting Digimon. The Garuda in Garudamon comes from the legendary bird, or better said, bird-like creature in Hindu, Buddhist and Jain mythology. I believe that when we look at its appearance, we might safely say that Garudamon became even better at flying. It is a Digimon that honors justice and order, and is a guardian deity of the land and wind that loves nature, a little bit like the Indian mythological Garuda that inspired the making of Garudamon. Its intelligence and combat ability are the highest among bird Digimon, which is actually really impressive. In previous episodes I did talk about the combat species in the digital world. Every Digimon has the ability to become part of the combat species, depending on their potential. Doesn't really matter if the Digimon is a rookie or beyond. Still, even if every Digimon can become a combat species, only some, a select few, are considered the most excellent among their type. And among the bird type, we can say that the Garudamon is the best. That is why it is admired by many, not only for the intelligence and combat ability, but also because only the chosen bird Digimon can actually digivolve to it. This would in fact mean that you won't see many Garudamons around. They are in fact quite scarce. It is thought that if the order of the digital world is disturbed, the Digimon will suddenly appear out of nowhere and quell the source of the unrest. Truly a Digimon that fights for justice. That is also why it is matchless friends with the hero Leomon, who possesses the same will. Oh, and in case you are new, I made an entire video about Leomon. You can easily find it in the Digimon Conversation playlist. Maybe a quick little story. When the digital world became so overpopulated, King Drasil could not handle it anymore and launched the X program that eliminated 98% of Digimon. The remaining 2% were transferred to the new digital world. I will explain this story in details in another video. What I'm trying to tell is that there is something known as the X antibody. It is a vaccine that makes the Digimon immune to the X program, enabling them to survive and to go to the new digital world. Some Digimon are natural carriers of the X antibody and do not have a separate original form. Garudamon, on the other hand, must have received it via third parties, as there is an alternate form called Garudamon X. This X alternate version should be stronger than Garudamon thanks to the X antibody. As I said before, it might be rare to see a Garudamon considering only the chosen one is capable of digivolving to it. It is even more rare to see the mega form of BIYOMON called either Huumon or Phoenixmon, a holy Digimon that possesses 4 wings that shine gold. The Hu in Huumon is in fact a reference to mythological birds found in East Asian mythology. In Pokemon, the equivalent would be the legendary Pokemon called Ho-Oh. The Phoenix in Phoenixmon is a reference to the mythological bird in Greek mythology, a bird associated with the sun and can obtain new life by arising from the ashes of its predecessor. But no worries, I will say more about it in the mythological conversations. Phoenixmon is known as the head of all bird Digimon, and is said to be the one that presides over holy species Digimon, which explains why, aside of belonging to the Wind Guardians family, it also belongs to the Virus Busters family. Members of this field are generally sacred or angelic Digimon. This actually explains why Phoenixmon wears 2 holy rings around its ankles. In previous episodes, I did explain that the holy ring gave the Digimon great power relative to their holiness. Well, Phoenixmon has 2 of them, which technically would make it stronger. And some other Digimon, like Lucymon, has 4 of them. How powerful would these holy ring bearers be? And speaking of the powers, it is understood that the power possessed by Phoenixmon is unfathomable. In the Explaining Galmon Digivolution line video, I explained that Magna Dramon is the ultimate form of Beast Digimon. In explaining Tentomon Digivolution line video and the explaining Wormmon Digivolution line video, I explained that Grand Kuwagamon is the ultimate form of Kuwagamon species, a species that is heavily linked to many insectoid Digimon, while Phoenixmon is the ultimate form of Bird Digimon. To once more bring you back in history, in ancient times, in the ancient digital world, there is a Digimon that is related to Phoenixmon. It might be that we're talking about a Digivolution, or maybe not. There is a Digimon called Ornismon, an ancient bird Digimon that went extinct in the distant past. It was boasting a size beyond imagination. That is why it was called the ruler of the skies. It shares nothing in common with Phoenixmon. In fact, we could even say that it is maybe the opposite. It has a ferocious personality, and it is said that it will frequently assault even larger Digimon, even if Ornismon is already extremely huge. And on the contrary to Phoenixmon, belonging to the Virus Busters family, Ornismon belongs to the Nightmare Soldiers family. Members of this field are generally demonic or undead Digimon. It is hard to tell whether this Digimon is more powerful than Phoenixmon. All I can say is that they are related, even if Ornismon went extinct. Andres Marrero wrote the following in the Nostalgia 95 community page. To think that BIYOMON's final Digivolution is responsible for so many of the top dogs in Digimon. It is one thing to know that Ornismon is an ancient bird Digimon that went extinct in the distant past. BIYOMON has yet another form that, according to rumors or even legends, existed since the very creation of the digital world. For those that are Marvel fans, it is maybe sort of like the character Galactus, who existed in the prime pre-Big Bang universe, and while the current universe were created, Galactus was already there. I am talking about Varadurumon, a holy bird ancient Digimon. The Digimon is also known as Valdurmon. The Valdur in Valdurmon is a reference to Baldur, a god in Norse mythology, and a son of the god Odin and the goddess Frigg. Baldur is also brother of the god of thunder, Thor. Valdurmon is a mythical Digimon that inhabits the stratosphere, 40,000 meters or about 24,900 miles up in the sky. It is extremely high. The stratosphere is the second major layer of Earth's atmosphere, just above the troposphere and below the mesosphere. It possesses 6 gigantic wings, and when it spreads them to their widest, its wingspan reaches as much as 30 meters, which is enormous. To put that in perspective, a T-Rex is about 6.1 meters. The largest Giganotosaurus is estimated to be 13.7 meters or 45 feet. The Sauroposeidon is about 21 meters tall and is known to be the tallest dinosaur ever found, and it is missing about 10 meters to reach the wingspan of Valdurmon. This only shows how huge and certainly very powerful the Digimon is. Its feathers normally emit the holy light of its purge shine. That light alone is an attack. That light alone is a mean to face opponents. When Valdurmon clads its body in that barrier of holy light emitted from its feathers, it will completely invalidate any attack with an evil will. On top of that, it can amplify the purifying light to its maximum and emits it with enough power to pulverize even a star. And because it is emitted at the speed of light, it is nearly impossible to evade. I did mention powerful Digimon before. Think of Grace Novamon in the explaining Lunamon video. I have to say that it is already very difficult to compare Valdurmon to it, considering how immensely powerful both Digimon are. But the problem is that Valdurmon has yet other forms that are even more powerful and, to be honest, even complicated when it comes to the origins. In the explaining Leomon Digivolution line video, I talked about Bancho Leomon, an extremely powerful Digimon, member of the Bancho team. I don't know how or why, but Valdurmon can actually fuse with this Digimon to form Chaosmon Valdur Arm. It is a unique Digimon. We all know that, normally, when a DNA digivolve occurs, the digicores of the two fellow Digimon are completely fused and reborn into a new Digimon. Chaosmon retains each of the digicores and maintains its form in a very incomplete state. I would say that it sort of resembles Omnimon, however Omnimon is not an incomplete state. Chaosmon is in fact the code name for the Digimon that should not exist. It is basically a bug. Due to its extremely unstable existence, its lifespan is very brief, and it is conjectured that its lifespan was shortened as a result of running the program that eliminates the bug released by the digital world's managing system. I hope you don't mind, but let me deviate a little bit from the topic in order to explain more about the digital world's managing system. What you have to know is that the digital world is created by God and ruled by Yggdrasil. Well, let us say that a certain dimension is ruled by Yggdrasil, as there is another dimension that is ruled by another similar entity. The point is, the Digimon world is primarily subject to the law of the jungle, but you could say that a certain law was established before the arrival of the Digimon creatures. According to the central dogma of the digital world, according to the flow of genetic information within the biological system of Digimon, the managing system is responsible for preventing the existence of incomplete DNA digivolutions like Chaosmon. The digital world's managing system is also responsible for rendering threats like Belphimon dormant in order to keep a certain balance and order. I did talk about Belphimon in the Explaining Gabumon Digivolution line video. It is indeed better that the digital world's managing system is keeping this immensely powerful Digimon asleep, as it can really bring chaos over the entire digital world without forgetting that it has allies. But this shows the importance of the managing system. And to relate it to the real world, in some way I think that this is what us humans on Earth are missing. We live in total anarchy, as there is no governmental authority that will manage the different states, which is why there is always certain geopolitical tensions, as certain countries are directly or indirectly trying to upset the balance of power to their favor. To give you a bit more information about the managing system, it is protected from external threats through the internet by a mega-level Digimon named Eaglemon. Its duty is to annihilate the invaders that try and enter the digital world. The role of Eaglemon and the role of the managing system is certainly important and will only increase in importance, considering that it is rumored that the United States of America is currently conducting research and development on Digimon in order to take possession of this digital dimension. Still, the managing system is trying to do what it can to maintain the balance, even if the challenges are enormous. There is, for example, a champion Digimon called Clockmon, who is powerful enough to upset the balance of the digital world, causing it to collapse, as it is the protector of time and governs the computer's timer. But we will certainly look at the Digimon in another video. I have reason to believe that something was wrong with the managing system, which might have brought the digital world into complete ruin, which is maybe why Bancho-Leomon and Valduremon had to fuse in order to run the program, but as a consequence it had a reduced lifespan. And the most impressive is that it doesn't even stop there. There is another fusion consisting once more of Bancho-Leomon and Valduremon, but also Dark Dramon, a strong member of the team known as the D Brigade, that actually dislikes Bancho-Leomon and the Bancho team. And to finish, Kentarosmon, a member of the Royal Knights. All four fused to become Ultimate Chaosmon. This is yet another broken Digimon that normally should not exist. And to tell you the truth, I also have no idea why this Digimon came into existence. It is a bug actually. Due to the strain from using four mighty powers all at once, most of the strength which had retained a balance of power collected in its arms, which took on a gigantic size as a result. It is unable to store its digicores within its body, so the two of them manifest bare on its shoulders. Its power, which is unable to suppress, flows from its whole body as if it was leaking out. It is so powerful that rookie level Digimon or below are not even able to approach it, just due to that power. To me, this Digimon is really a big question mark. It is difficult to know whether it is a good Digimon or a bad Digimon. And as a bug, it is even more difficult to truly determine its capabilities. Chance exists that it is simply way more powerful than we could imagine. I hope you enjoyed this video, my good friends. There is still a lot more about BIYOMON than meets the eye, but we will certainly get back to it in other videos. I can't make this video too long because your time is still very precious to me. But I have to say that I really do love BIYOMON, and I admit that I did not know how deep its story actually is, and there is still so much to unveil. I'm also surprised that their forms are heavily inspired by many mythological entities that are also just as interesting to explore. We will get there step by step. I will have to ask you guys to subscribe in case you haven't already. This channel is going to discuss as much as possible when it comes to Digimon, because the franchise truly deserves more attention. This really is my way for helping the Digimon developers and to say thank you for making my childhood more interesting thanks to this amazing franchise. Digimon rules, my friends, it really does rule. and I will make sure that the world will understand that. Also, in case you are new, all of my Digimon videos are placed in the Digimon playlist, which is always updated. That way you can catch up on newer and older videos. Do not forget to leave a comment about the particular request, or even about BIYOMON, considering that there are certain aspects that I left out.